Hi, this is Raymond from Tesla Offer. Today we will teach you how to do electric frunk for the Model S. So in the Model S, you will find two versions. One version is a single latch, what we call single latch. So it's just one latch. So it doesn't matter if you have pre-facelift or facelift. If you have pre-facelift, all the dual motor one have a single latch. And if you have the facelift version, all of them are single latch. So this time we'll teach you how to install a single latch version. If you find that you have two latch here, two of them here, then you need the pre-facelift dual latch version. We will show it in another video. So the installation for pre-facelift single latch and post-facelift single latch is very similar. So we just showed it in this video. So the first thing you need to do is to remove this 4-piece here. So we'll start by removing this piece. You can remove this before you put it out, but it's fine if you do it this way. So just pull this out. And for this one, just grab a flathead screwdriver, and then from here you can see there's a little gap, so just do it like this, and then it will be coming up. And then you can remove this piece as well. So to remove this piece, remove from one side first, because this piece is quite fragile. So just put it and then put it other side. We pull the middle part at last, yeah. Okay, so now we can pull this up. For pre-facelift single latch, actually you might not need to remove this piece, but for the post-facelift model you need to do it, yeah. So let's try to remove it. If you don't try to remove this one, you can get the power from the fuse, yeah, but we will try to connect it direct to the battery. So let's start to remove this piece. So to remove this piece, we just need to pull this out. Let me pull from here. Yes. So disconnect the lights and disconnect the button signal, and then you can remove this whole piece here. And now for this version, it only have 4 screws. For facelift model, there are more, and they are 10mm heads. For this one, I think this one is 13, and this one might be an 8. Let's try. So yes, this one is the 13. Just 4 screws. And this two, I guess, is an 8. Let's try it. Yes, it's an 8. So I'll put it here. Put it here. And now you can remove this piece. Okay, so here is the front. So now we can get started. So this one is the lock unit. We need to remove it from the car and then do some modification to it. So you will need a 10mm sharp wrench. Both of these two can work on it. Just make sure it's sharp that you can work it on here, or you can use this kind of wrench to do it like that. Both will work, yeah. So it's a 10 millimeters. So after I loosen it, I can just use my hand. So for the facelift version, it's slightly different. Let me show you later. But it's just the same 2 screws to remove. But in a facelift version, there's another big piece here. You just need to remember how it was, and then when you put it back, just do the same way when you put it back. So we can remove this plug as well. To remove this plug, you just push it here, push and pull. Yeah, push and pull. So after you've removed that, it will be easier to remove the screw here. Okay. This is the thing you need to work on. So the first thing is to remove the spring. You can use a bare hand like this. Just push it and then remove it. And then next, in our motor, this side, so here, I'm going to show you how to do it. So there's a little hook here, this one, and there's a little hole here. So we just put it here, hook it inside this hole. Trick is to do it like this, and then just rotate this and then set it like that. And for this piece, you just need to insert it into this little piece here. So that's basically it. Check this one. The screw might be loosened. So if it's loosened, try to tighten it from both sides. For Model S, you can leave like 4 threads from this side. Yeah, this might need some adjustment later, but you can just tighten it. This one is a 12 millimeters hex, so just make sure it's tightened. You use a wrench to tighten it, and then you can install the piece back. So this is the 2 hole that we removed the piece from. So now we can just put it back. Yes, one more thing I forgot to do, but we can do it from here, is to install our spring. Here is our little replacement spring. So the idea is to put it here, hook it from here, and then on the other end, just hook it from to here. So you should do it before you reinstall the thing, but I can still do it now. Yeah, so this is how you hook it. So make sure you do it before, it's easier. So after you install this, we run the wire from here to here. This is where we put our motor. Just stick it here, and the other end of the wire we can just run into this area. This is where we'll put our control unit into this area. So we'll revisit this area later, but this is how you do it. Okay, the next thing we can do is to replace the strut. Yeah. So here at the strut, you just need a small flathead screwdriver. There's a hole here. You just need to insert the screwdriver like this, and then in one hand you do this, and on the other hand you push the hood slightly outward, and then you pull the strut out. So like this, it's easy. So after that, remove this one. This one here is the same. Just insert and then pull. So this is how you do the strut. So then you can replace the strut we have. So to install it, the wire side downward and then push it in. And here we'll push it in later, but we'll put it here first and we do the other side. So you can just do the same thing. One hand push up and then pull this out. Now you don't have any strap to hold the hood, so I just use my hand to support it and then come back here and I install this piece here. Okay, so now I can go ahead and finish the remaining work here. Just remove this and then install our own strap. Okay, after you finish installing, just do a little testing. So make sure everything moves right. Then we can continue to our next step. So the next thing is to do this set of wire. With this one, we connect into our control unit, and the gray wire we already connected from the motor. So now, first do the blue pair first. So the blue pair goes to the right side of the car. So in case you don't know which, you can see that there's two motor here. One is from here, one is from here. So in order to check which one to do the connection, you try to check for this wire. This is the what we call the primary latch. So we follow this wire down and we can see this is the one that we need to unplug. So we unplug this connector. The way to do it is pull this and then push down, and then we can connect to our blue connector pair. So remember, it's the right side of the car. It doesn't matter if you are a left-hand drive car or right-hand drive car. Is on the left side of the car. No, the right side of the car, sorry. So this is how we do it. So next pair of the wire is this set. So we run it from here to here. So this is where we need to connect it. So remember, this was the plug that we removed before. So we remove it and then insert this into here. And then for this one, we insert this into here. So this is how we do the second pair. For the third pair, you need to get this button from your frunk. So this was the plug that plugged into the button. So we removed it before when we removed the piece. So we connect it to this pair, and this pair goes to here. So this is how we do it now. But after we finish programming it, we will unplug this and then plug this back into the button. Then this one is just for programming. It's just for height setting and speed setting. So we will just leave it like this now. So next we will do the power. For the power, if you want, you can actually do the fuse box, but we will do it from here. So I will remove this cover. I will put my 12 volt here. It's a 10 millimeters. And then just insert our. Okay, so this is the 12 volt. Next is the ground. For the ground, this one is the wire for the ground. So we will try to do this. There are multiple ground that you can use. You can use this screw, this screw, this screw. They are all ground. for us, let's try to do it on the negative terminal of the battery. So we just unscrew this, and then we'll put this here, and then tighten it back. Okay, so now there's another end like this. This is to connect back to the power, the 12-volt source we have. So here, remove this plug and then plug this in like this. Make sure it's locked, and then you can just connect it back. And this side, we can just connect it to the box now, just to check it first. If the lights go on, it's good. So just then after that, unplug it. We want to plug it in after everything is set. So this is how we do the power. So, oh, actually now the system is ready. We can just give it a try before we tidy up everything. So here we'll do the strut cable. It's a left and right, but it doesn't matter. Just do it in a pair like that. On the other side, it goes to here, and now we plug in the power. So now it's flashing. It's good. So we just place it here first. I'll just put back the cover. Like this. Okay, so the last thing is the buzzer. It's giving you the beep sound of the system. So we just connect this one here. And this one is useless right now, but you can save it, use some tape to wrap around it for future use if we have some new feature, maybe, we are not sure. But now we can test the system. So to test the system, let me put it here first. Using this button, hold it. After you hear the first beep and then you release it, it is for initialization. But before that, before you're closing the frunk, there's something important that you need to check. So here is the frunk. So use your hand to push it down, all the way down. So it's locked right now. Yeah. The reason we need to do it is we want to make sure the frunk will open. After you install everything, you don't want to close the frunk and then it doesn't open, right? So now we can use our button. Just press it to see this one release. So if it's released, that we are good. So now do the initialization again by long pressing it. And then now we can test the system. So just press this again and then test the system. Okay, so it works. So let's try to use the key fob to open it again. Okay, it's good. So the first time it closes might be a little bit slower, but after you initialize the first time, let's try to see. Okay, it will slightly faster, and then you can also set the speed of it. Yeah, I will show you how to do it now. Yeah. So we grab back our button. Now it's the time to set the speed. So to set the speed, you long hold it. The first sound is for height setting, and then you hear 2 beep, followed by 3 beep, and followed by 4 beeps. The more beep, the higher the speed. So I release it. So I release it after I hear 5 beeps. That means that I set it to speed 5. The highest speed is speed 6. So let's try to do it again now and see how fast this goes. So it's slightly faster. The default speed was 4. So if you want to increase the speed, you can do it this way. And then after we put it back, you don't have the opportunity to program it anymore. We will save this one. So now we have finished programming it. So we can remove this wire from here. So this one will just save it inside the area. You can just place it here or place it everywhere that it can be easily accessible. So in case you need to program it later, you have a place to access it. So we'll do some tape to wrap around here and then put it here for future use. And then this one will go back to the original position after we put back the piece. So right now let's try to tidy up everything and then put the things back into piece, and then we can test the system again. So we actually finished the installation. We just try to do some tidying up here. We'll show you what we did. So just try to tie it up. And here you can see where we put our control box here. We use a tie to tie it here. We use the bag included for basic waterproofing. Yeah, so this should be fine now. And then we just run all the wire here, and then now we can put the piece back in. So let's try to put the piece back in. So here, align two in here, and then this one goes to. Okay. So now, before we put the other three pieces back, oh sorry, we need to do one more time. Lift up. We need to find out this cable. This one. Yes, here. And then we just hold it, and then when we insert the piece back, put it here first. So yeah, so here, run the wire back into this hole. Yes. Okay, it's done. And then we just put the piece back here now. Okay, so just put this back, the washer back, and then we can tighten it back. But before we tighten it, it's better to do the test again. So close it using the button now. Just put it back first and try to see from here and see if it okay, it's good. Then after that, your front will not close. You need to manually push it down and use the key fob to test it again. So for this one, we just want to make sure that after you put back the piece, the lock still works, so nothing in the wire gets stretched or get broken. So before you close the front, so it still works. And then we put back the 4-piece and let's try it again, and after that it will be done. So now I put back the top piece first. It's easier if you lift it a little bit up and then push this piece in. So now it's done. So now I will do the 2-piece on the side. So over here I didn't unscrew it, so I just put it like this way. Yeah, if it's too hard, you can unscrew it and then put it back. But for me, I'm lazy, so I just do it this way. Tighten it, make sure it's tightened, and put the piece back in place. Actually, the middle piece is the first one to put on. I just forgot about it. But so I just try to push this back up. So for a facelift version, you don't need to do it. Yeah, they don't have this fasteners. This fasteners are really old one for pre-facelift model. So just remove the stuck one. Oops. Let me get it later. Oh, here. Here. And the last one. Okay, so let's put back the middle piece first. We insert the missing part here, here. Should be here. Yes. Yeah, so when we moved it, it already missed one, so it's okay. It doesn't really matter that much. So now we just put this piece back in. Align the whole. Yeah, just put it back in. It's easy. Just need to align it, insert it. Okay. And now we put back the 2 push pin, one in this one and one in the other side. So okay. So last piece here. Okay. Okay, so now everything is set. I have to tighten up the screw because you need to test it before you put it back. So in case it doesn't latch properly, you need to adjust the two 12mm bolt that I talked about. So I tend not to place back the screw before that. So let's try to close it again, make sure it's closed, and then we can put everything back. Okay, so it's good. So then we can just put everything back. If it doesn't pull enough, pull the latch enough, it doesn't latch, then you need to adjust the two nuts that we showed it before. You need to adjust it to the wire end, but we will show it in another video. So now this one is complete. So we just place everything back, and the whole installation will be done. So let's do it real quick now. 8mm. Just tighten it. And 13mm. Okay, so now we can just put everything back. So now I remove the button first. This button, yes, we'll put it here. Connect the light. And for this one, just go back into the hole here, and then we'll connect the button. And then we just insert it back. And now just make it look good again. And the installation will be completed. Okay, so now everything is complete, so just try to do one last try. Good, so try to open it, and it works great, and the whole installation is completed. Thank you for watching.